2 years ago, I put together a video highlighting that Loudoun has a professional soccer team that plays out of Seger Field in Leesburg, Virginia. Seger Field now also is home to DC's premier professional rugby team called Old Glory. And on Friday, February 18th, I went to Old Glory's first home game of the 2022 season. It was really cold and a ton of fun. If you're like me, you may not really understand all the rules about rugby, so I wanted to share a few things that I learned during the first home game I attended. First of all, if you know American football, you understand the concept of the lateral pass. Rugby is essentially a game of lateral passes. Players pass the ball laterally, trying to find an opening in the defense and then blast their way through. But amazingly, with no pads and headgear, well, it's also optional. It is very hard to move the ball forward since players can only pass sideways or backwards. So it's very dependent on a great running game. You'll see players make 4 or 5 lateral passes in very quick succession, all in an attempt to find an opening for somebody to break through. And this is where a drop kick comes in. In American football, when a player kicks the ball away, it's almost a sign of defeat. But in rugby, kicking the ball is just seen as another way to move the ball forward. And just like in American football, the goal is to get in the end zone. If a player gets the ball to the end zone, it's worth 5 points and it's called a try as opposed to a touchdown. A player would then kick the ball through the upright field goals, just like in American football, except it's completely unopposed and it's worth 2 points instead of 1, and it's called a conversion. Just like in American football, if the players get the ball close enough to the end zone but can't run it over the line, they can drop kick the ball and make 3 additional points. Okay, so that's my crash course on rugby. There are a lot more rules, I'm sure, and you'll probably pick up on them after a few rounds of Guinness. And Guinness happens to be one of the sponsors at Seger Field for Old Glory. If you'd like to get a big group together, give me a call. I'd love to join you. Thanks so much for joining me.